What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. I know I probably look a little bit insane right now. My hair's a mess. It's okay, it doesn't matter. We've woke up. It's a beautiful day. It's 70 degrees outside, so I'm really excited to get out and start shooting some photos. Today, the video is we're trying out Candido, I think is how you say it. We're gonna try out this 35mm film. Shout out to Ball Photo Supply in Asheville, North Carolina. They had this. I said, do you have any weird film that I could try out? And so we've got this. We're gonna be shooting it today in my Canon AE1, and I'm excited. So all we have to do is wait for Josh to land his plane, and we'll be ready to go. Josh has landed with a beautiful Fuji in his hand. Look at this, absolutely amazing. First location of the day. I drive past it all the time, always wanted to shoot it. So we're about to load the Candido into the AE1 and do a couple shots. What's going on? That's right. It's been a couple of months as per always, and you're still having to deal with me cutting in the middle of the video and talking for a few seconds. So first and foremost, I want to give a huge shout out to my friend Hannah for letting me borrow her AE1. I haven't shot with an AE1 in a ton of years. She thought hers was broken, was having some problems with it. I shot some stuff just to see if it was okay, and everything turned out actually really good. So again, yeah, we're trying out this Candido film. I'm going to kind of take a back seat and just kind of let the video play out. I'm going to interject here a little bit, but it's not going to be like a normal video where I kind of just like talk and talk and talk. But I will kind of at the end give my like overall kind of review of Candido film. So let's get into it. So if you've watched a handful of my videos before, you know that I typically like to push and or pull my film. For this episode and for this test of the film, I didn't want to do either of that, so all of these were shot at box speed, so they're all shot at 400. Just to really get an understanding of what the film looks like just right out of the box. I didn't want to mess with anything.
Breathe the paper in next blood. So many bad things happening that you can't deny.
So that's the first location. I would say out of those handful of shots that were in the video, I got definitely like 5 keepers, somewhere around in there. And let's go through a couple of those right now. So the first one that I would deem a keeper is this one right here. I really like kind of the leading lines of the, I guess almost like pathway leading up to the building, the barn. I think that the Candido has like almost gold-like quality. Where it's like kind of really leaning itself towards like the browns of the colors. I think the reds and the magentas are pretty strong as well. I think that it like overall really exposes a scene really nicely with the added halorations around the highlights, which you'll see right here, kind of on the biggest piece of white that's kind of shining on the barn. The next shot that's definitely a keeper is this full front shot of the barn, garage, whatever you want to call it. This is like almost good enough to be a portfolio shot for me, in my opinion. I love the fall off of the shadows. I love being able to see all the way through the barn and seeing that the fallen over building kind of behind it in the middle there. And at first when I was looking at these images, the halorations on the highlights really kind of bothered me at first. They were a little much, I think. But looking back at the images now, they feel not subtle, but somewhat subtle in a way, that they almost add to the image. And that's definitely something that you're going to see throughout the rest of these images, is kind of, my own personal struggle when I got these back of, do I like the halation on the highlights or do I not? This one of the converging lines of the light and everything, this is a great image in my opinion. I really enjoyed this one. I don't usually tend to work with a tripod, especially when I'm shooting 35 millimeter. So that was another kind of like thing that I gave myself on this day when I was shooting, of like, you should shoot with a tripod and kind of have that intentionality that you have with your normal work, which is medium format, but bring it to 35 just to kind of like force myself to slow down and shoot more, like focus more on my compositions. And this one I think really turned out well. I love the way that the Candido renders the sky in these images, man. The blue in the sky is really, it's not pastel, but it's kind of mute. And I think it just really gives a really nice color and a good vibe. So the last shot here of the building that's fallen over with the barn behind, I think I shot this overexposed. Obviously the sky is pretty blown out. You can see a little bit of detail up in the corners of the sky, but the scene itself is exposed properly and fine. Just the highlights are definitely a bit much. And I think what's happened here, the reason that the leaves look like they're turning like autumn or fall colors, is because it's overexposed. So I think that's one thing that I don't love about this film stock, because I got this image back and I enjoy this image. I like the composition, but where I overexposed it, the like redness in the trees and the grass and everything like that, it's not really indicative of what it looked like that day. Not to say that I don't think it's cool, it's just not really what I was looking for. So I think that's one thing with this film stock, that if you overexpose it, you may get the halorations kind of spreading all across the image. Hey Josh, what did you order from 7 Brew?
I wanted a double espresso
with a little
bit of milk in it.
And what'd you get?
I got 2 espresso. I mean, they gave me what I wanted. They gave me
sort of.
It really bothered me.
He was confused. So from this location, there's probably 2 or 3 keepers, I would say. I wasn't really feeling this location. I think the sunlight was a little much for me. It was pretty harsh in everywhere that we were shooting realistically. But this one that has kind of the walking path on the right and the little observatory or dam building, as it were, kind of up on the left, I think is a really good image. I think again here though, where the highlights are a little overexposed, I'm just now noticing that the trees are starting to turn that yellowish magenta color, kind of orange again from the halation. So it seems like with this Candido 400 at least, overexposing the film is going to give you kind of wild or kind of weird color shifts. which may be something to, you know, that I want to experiment with in the future and see like how wild we can make the highlights and everything look with this film. This shot here is probably the best shot from this area. The highlights on the little like sticks on top of the building where they're kind of shining, they have that halation, I think is really, really nice. It's a little hint to it. And I also just think that I kind of nailed the exposure on this one. I love being able to see through the glass and see everything behind it. So yeah, this is definitely a keeper. Right here is my last shot framed up. Ignore that. This is my last shot framed up on the Candido. I am really, really, really excited to get these photos back. And yeah, can't wait to see them. All right, so to finish out this roll, we went to this abandoned gas station, as you can see. And I don't love these photos. I don't know if it's the exposure or what it is. The only one that I really, you know, honestly enjoy is the one where the Kenworth sign is kind of framed in between the building and the shrubbery. But yeah, I wasn't really in love with these. Maybe I was kind of overshooting for the day or, you know, whatever. But this was the end of the roll here. So let's get into it. Let's talk about what my final thoughts about the film stock. Overall, what I thought about the film stock was, it was interesting. It was fun to shoot with. You know, it was nice just shooting a different film stock. For the price and everything, it seemed pretty fair. It was, you know, it wasn't overpriced or anything like that. But to me personally, with my style of work and like what I tend to do, it's not probably a film stock that I'll reach for again. You know, I like the halations. I thought that they were cool to see. If you've watched my videos, you know, obviously, I'm not even really a CineStill guy. I think the halations are a bit much for me. But I wanted to try this, and I think there's no point in not trying, you know, newer film stocks. And I think that, you know, like as film photographers, if we don't try new film stocks, then we can kind of get trapped in the Portra 400 or the Gold or just any of the Kodak film stocks. We can just kind of get trapped in that cycle of only shooting that film stock over and over and over again. So I think it was a nice exercise to go out and try. And like I said, I don't hate the images that I got. There's definitely a handful of the images that I'm proud of, that I think are good. It's just not necessarily the film stock that lends itself to my work. I would definitely like to shoot another roll of Candido, but I don't know how soon that'll be. Obviously, you know, I don't make a ton of videos. But you know, let me know in the comments what you guys thought about it. Let me know if you have shot this film stock, if you like it. And yeah, let me know if you also want me to do more film stock reviews. This was a fun video to shoot. It was fun, you know, getting back out there and just shooting film. I hadn't shot film, you know, for a couple of months prior to this. I've just been using the good old Fuji X100, you know, and it's a great camera, it's nice, but, you know, actually taking the time and shooting film felt good. So again, I need to send off some film. Maybe I'll send off some film, maybe I'll make more videos, who knows. But I appreciate you if you've stuck around this long watching. You know, like I said, let me know if you've shot Candido before, let me know if you like it. Let me know if you liked any of the images, and if you have any ideas for, you know, the next video or the next film stock I should shoot with. Let me know. My cat is crawling all over my desk, so I'm going to end off here before my tripod gets knocked over. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to like and comment and subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye, guys.